Hi, I'm Tina, and I'm here to talk about my social issue, crime and violence, more specifically sexual assault. But I'm only speaking on my behalf of being a woman in crimes. People in Canada or other parts of the world may not think it's a social problem or it's not important as others may think. But it's one of the many fears that people face either daily or through their past experience. Sexual assault are one of the more serious acts in my opinion because there's 3 levels of assault, depending on how serious and intense the act of sexual assault. From something as simple as unwanted sexual touch, up to rape or weapon involved, to even endangering a victim's life. It's important to me because I hear many stories about sexual assault. One case in Crimes and Victim case study is about a 22-year-old woman that weighed 95 pounds with a spinal deformity that was beaten to death and sexually assaulted. Something that actually happened in real life that caused extreme exfoliation and graphic case. Luckily, I have never been sexually assaulted, but a couple times where I came in very close contact to sexual assault. I have been sexually harassed many times, and that's a whole nother issue. What ties sexual assault with social problem is the type of crimes called conventional or street crimes. Sexual assault has different degrees of penalties and sadly less reports. In statistic, it's more likely that women are victims 90% of the time and male victims are 10%. But overall, 88% of sexual assault are never reported to the police. My definition of social problem is different because it's based on how I face society rather than what societies faced in society, like health problems around COVID-19 or employment rates on the rise. Everyone is different, and like the PowerPoint, there is no one singular definition. Social problem can vary from person to person. For example, sexual assault is currently my social issue where others may deal with immigrants and regarding race in a new country, financial problems, or even family issue with alcohol abuse. Sexual assault can happen at any age group and genders. Like I mentioned, 88% are never reported to the police for sexual assault. Crazy to me that we let these things go by. I know there's a reason why we don't report it, like not getting the police involved, or the police won't do anything about it. It's not important, probably traumatized and scared from their experience, etc. Such statistics as girls aged 12 to 14 are at risk for sexual assault by a family member, while boys aged 5 to 8 at 54% risk overall. Parents account for 40% of sexual assault. 98% of sexual assault were accused by men, making them 4 times higher that girls are easily to be assaulted than boys. And at least 20% of women have experienced sexual assault. From those lists of statistics, it doesn't make you a big concern how much data is collected even though 88% are not reported? Take a look at the college. We have security office and securities around. Why do we have them at the college? What happens if we don't have securities, safe walk programs, sexual assault and sexual violence support, the Alertus app, etc.? All of these ties to the answer is feeling safe at the college. So why should we care? We should care because different genders and age groups affect society. Different crime or violence affect women and men more than others. Quote, when a woman says no, they mean yes. Or good girls don't get raped, and their appearance-wise, they secretly want to get raped. When we look at the term rape, the old definition was only women can get raped, and only men are rapists. Some examples such as penile penetration excluded other forms of sexual coercion, and wives were excluded based on marital relationship. Based on that, there were low reporting and negative treatment for women when they were reported rape to the police. By that, men and women, mostly women, were looked down upon on. Take a listen to The Challenging Nation by Tammy about Jane Doe. In Toronto, she sued the police because a rapist man held a knife point to her own bed at her apartment. To then him, a serial rapist or a balcony rapist would rape other women with certain physical characteristics that only had a lower floor balcony. In a way, baiting women into catching the rapist. In that case, if that's not something that shouldn't be sued, then society will think it's okay to have rapists rape other people. Thankfully, Madame Justice Jean McFarland found that it was inappropriate behavior from the police and rewarded in favor of Jane Doe $220,000. Now, a new law of sexual assault is consisting of 3 levels of sexual assault, and both men and women can be victims of sexual assault. How could you get involved and solutions to help this problem/issue? Emergency contact 911 is probably the best contact number to reach out. What the government has done for us online is sexual misconduct support resources search tool, the link down below. For more information about sexual assault in detail, justice.government.ca. Ending Violence Association of Canada has a list of provinces and territories in Canada for sexual assault centers, crisis line, and support services. Again, linked there. Thanks to the Rape Cis Network Europe, they have organizations listed to work with survivors of sexual violence. Main countries are listed are Australia, Canada, Israel, Japan, New Zealand, Philippines, South Africa, and USA. Last thing before I want to wrap this up is during the Crimes and Their Victims course, there was a list of programs available, not related to sexual assault, but support line and services for any victims in need of help. I recommend check it out.